right. Like the talk of the conversation and the reason why he probably makes it to the NBA is, because of his father. Thanasis has a spot in the league, right? I think Bronny's better than Thanasis. I think Bronny's better than Thanasis.
Sure,
So
sure,
he
sure,
will get
sure,
a spot, right?
sure.
They'll make it happen. But I think that's been LeBron's motive the whole time. He's been talking about this for 3 years now, and I kind of felt like he was kind of giving himself away or by saying, "I want to play with my son," because all you got to do is get his son, then he'll play with you. That's what I was thinking for the past few years.
Me too,
But
me too.
I think he was just saying that to ensure that he actually makes it because um, it's not likely based on his skill that he would have if he wasn't with his
Oh,
son.
okay.
So I think he's saying it to make it happen, like just wishful thinking, just saying it out loud so it actually happens, and letting the media, letting the coaches, letting everyone in the world know that this guy has to make it to the NBA, and maybe that's just why he gets in, right? I thought that's what his motive always was, because
Probably not wrong.
yeah, there's nothing that really stands out. His best, you know how when they go through like the combine and they go through like your skills and your weaknesses and your strengths, his
Hmm.
biggest strength is being LeBron James.
Oh, this guy did not go there.
Like, let's just be honest. That's his biggest attribute,
Oh my
right?
god.
And that may be damn well a pretty good attribute because your dad could sit there and teach you the games. It really depends on how big your brain is to like adapt it
Absorb.
and then
Yeah,
consume it, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
at least you have the teacher there. At least you have the genetics, right? I think that alone, based off the fact that he's one of the greatest players ever, that's not a bad dice roll. They've taken better, bigger chances on other kids. You know what I
That's
mean?
true. That's true.
So like just from like the academic side of everything, or just like the upbringing, the culture, he should do better than a lot of players in terms of just well, he should be. Everyone can take things however they want to deal with it and handle it. You never know how Bronny deals with or handles NBA, but he's been around it his
True.
whole life, so it's nothing really new, and he's always been in the light his whole life too. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah. He'll be used to it.
it's something that he'd be used to and more adjustable rather than your other average college kid, right? So he'll
So
make
if
it
you
just.
see, so like if you see, so I saw a report about a couple weeks before All Star break that apparently the Raptors were watching Bronny right now. My question to you, right? Let's say a team like the Raptors or Utah or Minnesota. Well, Minnesota probably wouldn't get him, but what if a team like that where it's not the most flashy market that players want to go to? Do you see LeBron James? Let's just use the Raptors as an example. You see LeBron James going, "I'm going to sign with the Raptors because the Raptors are going to choose my son, or they're in the position to choose my son." Or do you think this is going to be like backstage politics where it's like, "Oh, you better tell the Raptors not to choose my son, bro." Like, because like you remember, yo, 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 you remember LeVar Ball? Remember he told the Celtics, "Do not draft Lonzo Ball. Like,
Yeah,
don't do it. Like
yeah.
don't." So, I mean, if LeVar Ball can again, that's a I'm being arrogant by saying that LeVar Ball is the reason why the Celtics didn't do it, but the fact that it's out there and it looks and it's perceived that way, if he can do it, then LeBron definitely
I can't.
can be like,
Yeah. No, I think that's what it is. I think that's what it would be because if he ends up going where if he gets drafted to a team that LeBron has no business in being, they're gonna do what they need to do to trade this da 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 da. Like it's what it's gonna look like is like they drafted him. It's gonna be a drafting trade. It's literally like that. I guarantee you, Bronny is gonna be drafted and traded
traded.
on draft night,
Damn.
or they're gonna do what they need to do to make it not look as bad. But that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna make it happen. Bronny's gonna come to LeBron. LeBron is not gonna come to Bronny.
So you're saying Bronny's a Laker then next year if he
If
declares for the
if that's
draft?
where if that's where he ends up and stays, and that looks like based on LeBron's notion and the Lakers organization, yeah, Bronny may become a Laker then if that's the case.
Do you see any other team outside the Lakers though? Because LeBron's contract is up this year, so technically he
Yeah,
can up and go somewhere else. Um, do you see anywhere he can compromise and be like, okay, fine, I don't really want to leave the Lakers, but I do want to play with my son, and I don't mind playing with this team specifically. Like, do you see any team like that, or is it just straight Lakers?
Yeah, there's very few teams. The only no, because a lot of teams they don't have time for that. Like a lot of teams they're not. I don't care about your daddy son relationship right now. I'm trying to win. Like, get out of here. Like, there's a lot of teams that are trying to win right now. So that
Yeah,
really
yeah,
only leaves like the crappy teams, like
fair
the
enough.
Hawks, the like I'll even put Orlando in there. Like he's not.
Pistons.
He already said himself, I'm not going to Orlando. The
Oh yeah,
Knicks, I would have said the Knicks would have been possible, but they're trying to win, so like
right,
that's
right,
not
right.
possible. They don't have time for that. LeBron has no business with Raptors in Toronto like that. Um, if it was the Warriors, if they had room, no, they didn't even have time for that. They really don't. So there's really no team that really doesn't have like if they don't have time for it, it's either going to be a team that doesn't have time for it or a team that LeBron just doesn't want a business with. So there really only is the Lakers. And
True.
I'm starting to feel bad for players that like role players that play for the Lakers because you have to make room for all these stars and they don't care. Like you have to move to the side and let them do as they please. Happened with
Mm.
Kobe, it happened with LeBron, it happened, it's gonna happen. So yeah, that's just what it is. Bronny to the Lakers 2025.